So I've already drawn out the bird onto the canvas panel and I've given it a coat of acrylic medium and some raw umber just to give it a light imprimatura coloured ground to paint onto. Now with some Payne's grey, once that's all dried, with Payne's grey I'm just going to put in some of the outlines and darker areas of the painting so I don't lose them when I paint over the top. And the colours I'm going to be using are titanium white, Payne's grey, raw umber, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, cadmium red, cadmium yellow, cadmium orange and phthalo blue. So I'll just continue now putting in these just relevant areas because I don't want to lose them. They're just still visible. The drawing is just still visible through that imprimatura. Now I'm going to use my large 1-inch bristle brush, give it a quick spray of water, a mist spray just to make it damp, not wet, and then I can start applying these large brush strokes into the background. Now the equipment I'm using, this brush and the other materials and tools that I use throughout this painting, I've left links in the description below if you're interested in them. And if you do use those links, then you'll be helping to support me and my channel, and that helps me to keep bringing you these videos. I should also tell you that I also have a membership tier on YouTube, where for just the price of a cup of coffee, you can support me on YouTube, and also you'll be given early access to exclusive access to my new videos, and also be entitled to watch my live streaming videos that I do about once a month at the moment, which is the second Monday in the month at 6 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time. Okay, I'm using this tool, this silicone tool, just to move the paint around there and make it really nice and abstract. Because what I want to do is create a blend of 3 different techniques: abstract painting, impressionist painting and realist painting. So a bit of phthalo blue now I've just added into the mix here, just to give me the basic colouring. It's quite thin paint, basic colouring of the bird, which is going to have this lovely blue colour, and then cadmium orange for its chest area, and also this little cheek. It has a little flash of colour there, and under the beak, the lower part of the beak. 1 or 2 of those colours put into the branch here as well, and then some raw umber to give me the overall shape and tone of the branch. So basically the background is going to be abstract, and I can move that paint around like that, as you see, make it really messy, make the whole thing messy at this stage because this is the first stage. So background is going to be abstract, the bird is going to be relatively impressionistic and the branch, and then the face of the bird is going to have a lot more detail and realism. So combining all 3 different methods and techniques there. So that was the first stage, making it really nice and messy. So I'll just put those light areas in there in a pinkish hue. Get some lighter areas of orange into the body here, because that background is more or less dried now. I've let it dry, and I can keep it wet. That's the whole point about painting like this, is I can keep the paint wet just by giving it a little gentle mist spray of water every now and again. And that's how you keep acrylics wet when you're painting with them, when you want to blend. Just make sure that they're damp. And I don't mean wet so that it's running down the down the painting, just damp. And you'll be able to blend with them all day, really, basically like that. So putting some of these dark areas in now into the bird, into the blue colouring, and then some greyish tones to create that blend. I'm painting relatively quickly. I know this is slightly speeded up, but I'm still painting relatively quickly so I can blend with the paint because it's still wet. So you must learn to paint quickly if you want to paint with acrylics. It's the best way. You see, whatever colours I'm using, I always tend to put into other areas of the painting to create that colour harmony throughout the painting. So putting the dark areas in once again, make sure I've got the eye right and the beak, because that beak has to be very accurate. I just went a little bit wonky with that beak shape there, but I will amend that later. So this is a small brush, but I'm not doing the detail yet with this brush. I'm just putting some loose shapes in here to give me the idea that there's wing feathers, the impression of wing feathers, without me painting every single feather. And use my finger to blend. Just wet the end of your finger and just blend with it. It's a great tool for blending paint. And then using that brush just to scrub in some of these darker little areas. Like that. Little spray now of water and I can start doing the background once again in similar but brighter colours, because I really want that bird to stand out against that background. I can adjust the beak again now, make sure it's correct shape. So because I've sprayed it with a little mist spray of water, the paint goes onto the canvas so much nicer than if I was trying to go onto dry canvas. This is where a lot of people struggle with acrylic paints. Don't paint onto a dry canvas. Try and paint on a damp canvas. And you find it makes all the difference. Suddenly you'll find acrylic painting becomes an awful lot easier. See, every now and again I'll just give it a little spray of water just to keep it wet, keep it moist and workable. Then I can move the paint around. You see how it's blending now, almost like oil paint. See how smooth those blends are becoming. Very like oil paint. So that's my abstract sort of background. Now I'm going to use a thin wash of this phthalo blue over the top of what I've already painted. And you can see how bright and richer that is becoming now. That colour, that blue is becoming very deep and rich. And I can work into that with lighter colours as well, while it's wet to blend. Painting quickly so as to take advantage of that wet paint. I can blend it like that. Okay. A few little hints of wing feathers there. And then one on that side. Now to the orange. This is for the chest area. The body of the bird is this cadmium orange colour, which I'm putting in the base tone really. There, that's the basic tone of the bird. And a little bit of red in there and make it a little bit darker as well, with a little bit of Payne's grey added to it to give me some shadow areas of that orange. And I'll add some of those colours to the branch as well for the colour harmony. Now I can put in some lighter areas using some cadmium orange and white for the lighter areas of the body there. Just little hints, that's all I'm doing. I'm not doing detail there. Nice and loose. Like that. Now, put some little highlights on that branch now, just to give it a bit more life. Like there's light falling on it. And put some different colours in there, some burnt sienna and white there. Dry that off completely, because I'm going to use the splayed bristle technique now. And give it a little mist spray of water, and then what I'll do is I get this old nylon worn brush and I bend the bristles of it, press it into the palette. You'll see how I do that in a moment. When I go onto the palette, bend the bristles like that. And it splays the bristles out and makes it very much like a fine comb. And I can paint loads and loads of little fine areas all in one go without having to paint loads and loads of tiny little marks with a very fine brush. I'll do a few little marks like this. I'll put some in the body as well. You think, oh, that looks too white. Yes, it is at the moment. But I'm going to glaze over the top of that. And the glazing will produce very wonderful, vibrant colouring. So I'll just put a few more of these lights in, these little detailed bits here and there. These little dotted stripes it has on its head, which I'll just augment with this brush here. I'll just put in a few of these little stripy type areas. Like that. And I'll just qualify this beak now, make it look a little bit more accurate, because it just wasn't quite right to my liking. So I'm prepared to take as long as it takes to get this beak right, because it has to look right. So I'm going to put a couple of little highlights there where it's just picking up a bit of the light. I'll keep putting them into certain areas of the bird as well, where there's really bright light. And I'm going to do the feet as well while I'm here. A little bit of cadmium orange with a little bit of cadmium red into that, just to put that foot in there. And then also adjust the eye, make that darker there, put those darks back in again. And blend with my finger, wet the end of your finger and blend with it. Put some more of these little feathers back in, very, very loosely and not detailed, remember. We're giving the impression of feathers, giving the impression of detail. Putting a little highlight there around the lower eyelid and also in the top of the eye, where the light's just catching it. And also I'll just put one or two on the leg where the light's just catching that. And then put a little shadow underneath to show that it's actually resting on the branch and not just hovering on it. There, like that. Okay, back to the light. Just put a little light bit there where it's catching the light. And also qualify that edge. Now I need to get this background behind that beak. I need to alter the beak. So I'm just mixing the background colour again and just altering the shape of that beak. That's much better. This is what you can do with acrylics. The beauty of acrylics is you can just keep changing things all the time, altering it, altering mistakes, changing the painting until you're happy with it. Not quite bright enough, that background, so I'm just adding a little bit more of a brighter tone to that. And then I'll just use my silicone tool, just a quick spray of water, and I'll just lightly blend that because I don't want to go over the bird again this time. So I'm just blending the edges of it. And then light once again in these very abstract brush strokes. I can still use this brush to paint relatively small detail, even though it's a large bristle brush. Be surprised what you can do with a large brush. That's another exercise for you to try. Try doing a painting with just one brush. A large one, not a small one. Okay. Putting the highlights back in again because they will darken as they dry. So you have to keep doing them. Once that layer is dry, go over them again and again and again until they stay as bright as you want them to be. And using the paint more or less straight from the tube now, as it is in those little pans, is straight from the tube. So a couple of little markings on the wings here like that. And then using the splayed bristle technique once again to put in some of these little markings. Like that. And on the cheek there. Now, I can put them elsewhere into the bird as well while I'm at it. Like that. Right. Put a few of these little orange colours back under the beak. Make sure that's relatively accurate, yeah. And the highlights, once again, just make sure that beak is the correct shape. I'm putting the highlights on the beak itself. And I can splatter as well, a couple of little, don't go mad with this, but just a couple of little splatters using different colours that I've already used. Like that. Perhaps an orange splatter as well, here and there. Very, very lightly done. Now I'm going to dry that off completely, and then using a glazing fluid, a glazing medium. This is a golden open glazing medium. I then get some of that and apply a little transparent cadmium orange or cadmium yellow into that very, very thinly. And you can see what it's doing to those light areas. They're not white anymore, but they are nice, vibrant orange, rich orange, which you can't really paint like that. You can't paint bright like that. You have to glaze to get the brightness. I'll do the same with the blue. I'll go over this again. We're using a glaze of blue, thin wash, using the medium, glazing medium to allow it to adhere. And you can see how much richer that's becoming now, and darker and glowing. And this is how the old masters got their depth of colour, by glazing. And Titian used to use maybe 40 different layers of glazing layers when he was doing his paintings. He says sometimes even that's not enough. Well, I'm only using 2 or 3 layers here of glazes. So I'm just going to make sure that background's light again to really throw that bird out. Make sure it's as bright as I want it to be, using these abstract brush marks, not trying to blend them now. And then some highlights back into that branch. And on the top of the head, like that. That's just about as bright as I want it to be. And then I'll get some of this red, glazing some red now into that, just into some of the areas, just to make it a little bit darker here and there on that orange, like that. And I'm basically going to go over the entire painting now, just doing little tweaks. I'll add a little bit of shadow down here with the blue and put it into the branch as well. And then I'll go over the entire painting, fine-tuning it basically, until I'm happy with the end result. And once I'm done that, then that's the painting finished. If you have enjoyed this video and hopefully found it interesting and entertaining, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Be sure to click on the little bell icon if you wish to be notified of my latest videos. I am always interested in your questions and comments, and I do try to answer every one of them. Hopefully I will see you on my next painting video, so until then, have a lovely day and happy painting!